Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Boullier, and thank you for joining me. Now, according to the Association of Mathematics Teachers, the main purpose of schooling is learning and development, and this should always be supported by appropriate assessment. So, it is our goal as teachers to effectively integrate teaching and assessment practices that will directly impact students' rich understanding and appreciation of maths. Now, the term assessment in mathematics refers to the identification and appraisal of students' knowledge, insight, performance, and capability in this subject area. There are a variety of effective assessment methods, both formative and summative, that teachers can use that will make a direct impact on the children's progress and achievement within these areas. Today, I am going to look at questioning and performance tasks, two authentic assessment strategies which set relevant, engaging tasks and promote learning in a fair and reliable setting. I will use examples from the Grade 1 number and algebra strand to illustrate my points to you all. So let's have a look at performance tasks first. Schutnik and Munchin refer to these as an assessment strategy that reveals different levels of understanding of the mathematics context. They can be used to measure skills, such as the ability to integrate knowledge across disciplines, contribute to the work of a group, and develop a plan of action when confronted with a new situation. Now, while traditional testing requires students to answer questions correctly, performance assessment allows students to show how they arrived at their solutions and provide explanations for their answers. So, for example, under the concept descriptor ACMNA 15, instead of a standardized test on number and place value, the teacher could provide the children with an array of problems where they not only have to answer the question, but also justify and explain their answers. So, as the children perform the task, using numbers or pictures or words to show how they solve the problem, the teacher can observe and assess their developing range of mental strategies. If we look at context descriptor ACMNA 12 as another example, to test the children's fluency with forwards and backwards counting, the teacher could conduct a hands-on activity whereby the children arrange train characters according to numbers on their sides, and the numbers could be represented in a range of formats such as words, pictures, dots, and so on. Now, the teacher could also instruct the students to skip count by 2s, 5s, 10s, etc. This form of assessment allows students to construct a response and perform a demonstration to show their understanding of counting. A fallback on performance task assessment strategy is that it can be quite time-consuming and labour-intensive to design and execute, so it must really be carefully designed if it is to be used to document obtainment of student learning outcomes. Now, rubrics, checklists, or other form of scoring guides are the most valuable recording tool to accompany this type of assessment. As long as the criteria clearly defines the characteristics of poor, average, and excellent performances, fair scoring is going to be achieved. Now, let's have a look at questioning. Questioning is a formative assessment strategy that, according to Marion Small, is not only used as a pedagogical tool, but also as a deliberate way for the teacher to correct misunderstandings and gaps in knowledge, as well as identify the need for extension work for those students whose knowledge and skill base demand it. Now, as stated by Reinhardt, questioning motivates students to think more deeply about mathematics by getting everyone involved in asking and answering questions. If we look at a decimal and fraction activity designed around context descriptor ACMNA 17, for example, the teacher could ask students to fold pieces of paper into various parts fractions. Students are then brought together and through whole class discussion are asked to explain their reasoning with questions such as, how did you work that out? Or what made you decide to do it that way? Implementing these open-ended type questions will excite student curiosity, provoke critical thinking and reflection. Now, if we look at children doing addition and subtraction problems within context descriptor AMNA 15, instead of just asking what is 4 plus 6 or 4 plus 6 equals, the teacher could ask the students, is there another way to make 10? This thought-provoking discussion will reveal the teacher individual differences and the strategies to which students have been exposed to and what level they are operating at. Now, a limitation to this strategy is that if questions are not implemented effectively, it will result in low-level class participation. It is really imperative to include a variety of questions to ensure that each student's learning style is addressed. Now, developing observational checklist that records individualized information about the student's understanding when asked questions will be the most effective recording instrument. This can then later be used for individual assessment, future planning, and reporting to parents. Now, after looking at these two different forms of assessment, I hope it has become clear that assessment is arguably the most powerful element in teaching and learning. by us as teachers incorporating multiple sources of assessment that involve different ways of probing assessment information, valid inferences about students' progress and understanding in mathematics can be made. Thank you very much for your time.